Let's get into it. What a week. Well, it finally happened. Congressman, bitch, lover, child, mother, not to mention the breakout indigenous lead of Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, George Santos has finally been expelled from Congress. Don't cry because it's over, laugh because it happened. Ahead of the Friday vote, Santos decided to go wide with it being transphobia.
Hey, boys and girls, trust the science.
Two genders. George, let me say something to you in terms I believe you'll understand.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Before the vote, Santos held a press conference where he refused to resign.
Because if I leave, they win. If I leave, the bullies take place. This is bullying.
Of course, whether he resigned or was expelled, either way they'd win. But George Santos knows all about that kind of conundrum as the author of Catch-22. Then, Ohio Republican, by the way, there's a special kind of joke, and it is a joke that you can do over and over again, that everyone can do, and it works, and it's rare, and when you have it, you should cherish it. And that's that kind of joke. I'll miss it. Ohio Republican Max Miller leveled his own allegations. He claims the Santos campaign charged his credit card and his mother's credit card $5,000 without their knowledge.
I myself have been a victim of George Santos and as well as other members of Congress in terms of defrauding through public donations. I had received an ethics complaint from the FEC, which I had to spend tens of thousands to defend myself. You, sir, are a crook. I know I should direct my comments to the chair. I yield back.
In fairness to Max Miller, his mother is a real milg. Mom, I'd like to grift. So stupid. So Max Miller is a member of Congress. He has to work every day with a member of Congress that robbed from him. I am now going to share a pitch that we received at 5:11 p.m. from Zuri, our video producer. Isn't this sort of like Ronald McDonald working with the Hamburglar? It's good. It's good. Zuri, everybody. In response to Miller's testimony on the floor, Santos took to the floor.
My colleague wants to come up here, call me a crook. Same colleague who's accused of being a woman beater. Are we really going to ignore the facts that we all have passed?
Yeah. There are real allegations against Max Miller from Stephanie Grisham, who was Trump's press secretary. A reminder that maybe other Republicans in the House also suck ass. Something maybe we hadn't considered. In the end, George Santos became the 6th ever congressperson to be expelled from the body, but he'll still be the first and only congressperson to be expelled right into our hearts. The vote to kick out Santos, who still faces a 23-count federal indictment, was bipartisan. 105 Republicans joined 206 Democrats. He did it. George Santos brought the parties together. He was the unifying force this country needs, and he was punished for it. We can't agree on abortion. We can't agree on healthcare, but this week the nation agreed that one extremely weird guy had to go. And I think that's beautiful. Only 2 Democrats voted against expulsion, but to be fair, George Santos was holding their babies hostage. On his way out of Congress, Santos told the press, "Why would I want to stay here? To hell with this place." "We're already in hell, baby," the Capitol building said back. Before giving him a little snap, before giving him a slap on his little rump. What does that mean? What a beautiful last sentence. Why would I want to stay here? To hell with this place. Great exit line. It works just as nicely when you're getting kicked out of the Cheesecake Factory for putting your dog on the table so she can have like one little nibble of the crunchy noodles they put on the Chinese chicken salad. I've heard. Santos didn't coin this line, however, and I know that because it's what producer Brian says every day as he leaves the office. I have a feeling we haven't heard the last of George Santos, but tonight we salute a legend at the close of this chapter in his remarkable and so far perfect life. If you bought a ticket to this show using a credit card, we have stolen that credit card number. And we will be using it to buy weeds, silk scarves, and designer lip gloss. Sandra Day O'Connor, the first female Supreme Court justice, died Friday at age 93. Flawlessly done, 10 out of 10, an absolute masterclass in dying as a not currently sitting justice. Rand Paul reportedly used the Heimlich maneuver on fellow Republican Senator Joni Ernst during a GOP lunch on Thursday, saving her from choking. Yeah. Whoa, maybe I am a doctor, said Rand Paul, gazing at his own hands in wonderment. In true libertarian fashion, afterward, Rand Paul said, "Give me $30,000 or I'm putting the turkey back in your windpipe. I owe you nothing." Said Ernst in a social media post, "Can't help but choke on the woke policies Dems are forcing down our throats. Thanks, Dr. Rand Paul." It was a pretty sick burn. Once she mastered solid food, it's over for Democrats. What the fuck? What a swerve. Doctor saves you from choking on a sandwich, and you're like, I know what this is an opportunity to do. Speaking of gag bitches, Trump was... Trump was also in the news this week. As you might recall, back in October... Chill out, there's a member of Congress on the show. As you might recall, in October, Judge Arthur Engoron, the presiding judge in the civil fraud trial, issued a narrow gag order against Trump after he repeatedly attacked the judge's law clerk, telling Trump not to harass a woman with a vaguely Jewish name who doesn't like him. Would you tell Vermeer not to paint? Trump's attorneys fought the order, and a New York appellate court suspended it during that appeal. This led to more harassment of Engoron, his family, and his clerk by Trump, which resulted in a nonstop barrage of threats, including hundreds of messages and calls and voicemails, including a fair amount of anti-Semitism, all of which the judge documented and shared with the appellate court. Most recently, a right-wing troll claimed to have discovered a series of anti-Trump posts by Engoron's wife, whose name is Dawn. This is sort of like, they were classic resistance fare, you know, like, Trump's not going to the White House. He's going to the big house. In other words, the jokes were worthy of punishment and harassment, but not like this. Sorry. Some of those jokes work, I know. What's wrong with that? That's a good post. Trump went on a tirade. Judge Engoron's Trump-hating wife, together with his very disturbed and angry law clerk, have taken over control of the New York State witch hunt trial aimed at me, my family, and the Republican Party. Only problem, there is no evidence tying this account to the judge's wife. Dawn had to issue this statement. Tell me if you think this is Weasley or emphatic. The Twitter account does not belong to me. I do not have a Twitter account. I have never posted any anti-Trump messages. By the way, the note had a typo in it, like it was frantically written, because it was like, what the fuck is this asshole saying? I tweeted? I didn't tweet. I didn't do it. I have to come clean about something. I've been operating the Twitter fan account of a New York trial judge's unknown wife. It was a way to escape and unwind a realm of exquisite fantasy, and I never thought anyone would see it. Anyway, from now on, you could find all my fake judge's wife posts on Threads. Also, just as a reminder, this judge has already found Trump guilty. This judge is going to personally decide just how much money Trump owes because of his crimes. And Trump's strategy, it rules, I suppose. And Trump's strategy is to terrorize every person in this man's life in the run-up to issuing that decision. Art of the deal. And so on Thursday, the appeals court ruled in the judge's favor, lifting the suspension of the gag order. Judge Engoron then reminded all parties involved that the gag orders against Trump and his attorneys were fucking back, and he would enforce them rigorously and vigorously. Save it for Grindr, buddy. Currently, the gag order is limited to court staff, but after Trump's post maligning the judge's wife, the judge could consider widening it to include the families of court staff as well, unless it's his kink. In another headline ripped from the Maniac Gazette, Lauren Boebert posted a photo, Colorado's own, yeah, that's right. She posted a photo with Dave Chappelle and fellow MAGA nut Anna Paulina Luna at the Capitol with the caption, "Just 3 people who understand that there are only 2 genders." I like when Jim Gaffigan talks about how hot popcorn is out of the microwave. You know, that's comedy to me. So hot. That's funny. I can relate to that. First of all, I just want to pause and thank whoever went to Target and got the Santa who uses a wheelchair. That's what this is. Remember when I think Fox News went crazy because Target had a black Santa who uses a wheelchair? And it was like, that's not anti-Christmas. That's just anti-wheelchair, you know? Thank you, sir. There you are. Right? Oh, you got me? It's cool. Thank you. I love it. Meanwhile, over in the Senate, Democrats in the Judiciary Committee voted to subpoena billionaire megadona Harlan Crow and conservative legal activist Leonard Leo as part of their investigation into Supreme Court ethics. It's not going to do anything. Prior to the vote, Republicans pitched a fit during an unrelated debate over several judicial nominees.
You're going to have a lot of consequences coming if you go down this road. Senator Durbin is not going to allow women to speak either. I thought that was sacrosanct in your party.
Telling on yourself a little, buddy. Presumably allowing women to speak is something everybody thinks is cool. Guess not. How dare you Democrats not let these dumb bitches talk? Uterus is wandering all over the damn place. Boy, you really look like assholes. Of course, I guess the consequences are just dealing with Republicans forever. And if you look at Dick Durbin's face, he's already experiencing them. The man's 35 years old. Republicans staged a walkout before the subpoena vote in order to deny the committee quorum, but Democrats plowed ahead anyway. Leonard Leo subsequently put out a statement that he would not comply. Senate Judiciary Committee Democrats have been destroying the Supreme Court. Now they are destroying the Senate. Leonard Leo is such a sore winner. You won the court. If it's destroyed, you destroyed it. You have a 6-3 majority. Samuel Alito makes Sandra Day O'Connor look like Antifa. Take the fucking win. It really bothers me. We're destroying the court? It's your fucking court. I read all these articles about how influential and important you are. Act like it. You should be proud of yourself. You reshaped the United States Supreme Court, inflicting untold damage on all of us. That's what you were trying to do. You should be happy. Why are you so pissed? Of course we're mad. We're the losers. We're the ones that should be angry and confused. We're all angry? You won. Be happy. Only half of us should be mad at any one time. Crow was slightly more circumspect, calling the subpoena invalid and unenforceable, but saying he would be willing to work with the committee in good faith. Crow also hedged his bet, with each member of the Senate Judiciary Committee receiving a diamond-encrusted iPad. On Thursday, Governor Gavin Newsom debated Florida's tallest man, Ron DeSantis, in an event Fox News called the Red vs. Blue State Debate, moderated by Sean Hannity. It felt strange to see the future president of the United States up there moderating a debate. In one moment, Newsom pointed out something the two men share.
But there's one thing, in closing, that we have in common is neither of us will be the nominee for our party in 2024.
Good. It's cool to see Newsom in kill mode. Running over that little Chinese boy in a pickup basketball game really unleashed something in him.
The governor, with ball in hand, accidentally ran into a student out there on the court. Both fell to the ground and then quickly sat up.
Gavin tasted blood and he wants more. In response to Newsom pointing out that Florida's mental health system is among the worst in the nation, DeSantis held up this map.
This is a map of San Francisco. There's a lot of plots on that. You may be asking, what is that plotting? Well, this is an app where they plot the human feces that are found on the streets of San Francisco.
A couple points. This man went to Harvard and Yale. He should know how to tangle with a coastal elite, but clearly you lose your edge when you only take career advice from a voice whispering at you from a sewer drain. Because I don't care what debate you're in, if you pull out a shit map, you're losing. Also, he had that in his pocket all night. Think about, so there are meetings and they're saying, all right, let's get ready. This is what he's gonna say. This is what you're gonna say. And we have the plan, right? If he brings up something like this, what do? You go into your packet, shit map. Right side. Remember, practice, right side. And we're gonna have the ship, we're gonna print the ship color. So it's brown. Because if it's black and white, it will not play. I won't be president. I can't be president if the map is black and white. I'll only get to be president if I show Gavin Newsom in a stupid debate a picture of a brown map. Here's DeSantis forgetting all his facial expression training when Newsom confronts him about book bans.
1,406 books have been banned on your banning binge in the state of Florida as it relates
And
to
the
parental
smile
rights.
is
Come on,
gone.
California, it's in our Constitution, parental engagement. It's called the LCFF process.
Look, 99% of becoming president is being tall, having good hair, and not smiling like you just slammed your penis in a car door. Also, it is wild how presidential anyone looks next to Ron DeSantis. Newsom 2028, DeSantis sucks so bad that it's like, maybe California doesn't need high-speed rail. I like this guy. Anyway, here's another clip of DeSantis not winning the debate.
I'm the only guy here that's a border state governor. You're trolling folks and trying to find migrants to play political games to try to get some news and attention so you can out-Trump Trump. And by the way, how's that going for you, Ron? You're down 41 points in your own home state.
Brutal. Did DeSantis think he was just gonna ski into the White House on his 5-foot-long custom Lucchese's? This is America in 2023. If you can't land a burn, you can't be president. You can't even have rights. Cars don't stop for ambulances on the street anymore. People get angry at the airport when they let the wheelchairs board first. Land jokes or kill yourself, Ron. This is America at the very fucking end. We live in a burn-based society. The EPA has proposed strict new rules that would require most U.S. cities to replace any remaining lead water pipes within 10 years. The best time to replace your lead pipes is yesterday. The second best time is during the 4th Trump administration. Said the EPA, in the meantime, you fatties like soda, right? Why not leave your sink alone and go have soda, delicious soda? The bipartisan infrastructure bill included $15 billion to find and replace lead pipe. This will be accomplished with the help of specially trained lead-sniffing dogs, unless those dogs get too deep into Facebook conspiracy theories and have to be put down. From all the lead. The dog thing isn't real. The whole thing is made up. That's not how you find lead pipes. I don't know how you find them. It's actually a very big challenge. We don't know where the lead pipes are. We don't know where they are. No. We know where some of them are. We don't know where they all are. The EPA estimates that there's 9.2 million lead pipes in America, but we actually don't know where the lead pipes are that go from the mains to the houses. Two houses side by side, one could have lead pipes, one could have non-lead pipes. So we know where a lot of the lead pipes are, but we don't know where all the lead pipes are. For the first time. But do you think you know where they all are? Because if you know where they all are, you should probably tell someone. Because the EPA doesn't know where they all are. So if you have a secret fucking map of where all the lead pipes are, you should tell somebody. Shouldn't be keeping that shouldn't be Boulder's best kept secret. Denver has a plan. Oh, good for Denver. I'm glad. I got a little aggressive. For the first time, utilities would have to replace lead pipes even if lead levels from those pipes aren't too high. In other words, we're no longer going to say there's any such thing as a safe lead pipe. That's good. Because I respect the founders, but it'll be nice to finally have less fucked up brains than them. You think they wrote in that confusing way because they didn't have lead poisoning? They were geniuses. Every sentence can mean whatever you want. They didn't have some secret, old-timey recipe for commas. They were just making it up. That's right. That's right. I'd like to edit the Constitution. just a quick line edit, not even content cuts. A couple content cuts. In more local news, wolves. Let's talk about it. I want to get your vibes. All right, here we go. Back in 2020, voters in Colorado narrowly approved a ballot measure by a vote of 51 to 49% to reintroduce gray wolves into the state. There were suspicions of voter fraud. Okay. There were suspicions of voter fraud, but Granny's registration was up to date, and although what big ears she had, nobody could prove anything. The measure set a deadline, December 31st, 2023, and Colorado is a lot like a lot of us that agree to do something difficult and probably good for us because the deadline feels very far away. Panicking as that deadline suddenly arrives. Wolves? What were we fucking thinking? As the state has developed a policy to implement the voters' decision, many Coloradans have expressed concerns. Chiefly, is the parking lot of the Whole Foods on Pearl Street really the best place to release them? Officials have been clear. People have nothing to worry about unless the wolves develop a taste for human flesh, which they almost certainly will. The state will also compensate ranchers if livestock are killed, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service approved a rule that allows ranchers to kill wolves to protect livestock and working dogs. And if the wolves get really out of control, the state can hit a panic button and release Siberian tigers to cull the wolves. And there's also a plan in place to deal with the tigers, an evacuation of the mountain time zone. Another concern, the wolves may be protected in Colorado, but if they cross the border into Wyoming, they can be shot on sight. And here's where this gets most troubling. Most wolves don't know how to read maps. Hunters in Wyoming have lured wolves already present in Colorado across the border with recorded calls like a pronghorn distress call in order to hunt them, which is so fucked up. It's like when someone tells me there's pizza at the office to get me to come in, but when I get there, there isn't pizza. There's just a meeting I postponed 3 weeks ago because I kept demanding new headshots every time I lost 5 pounds. About the border issue, is there a wolf here? About the border, I heard a wolf. About the border issue, wildlife conservationist Matt Barnes told The Coloradoan, so far, all evidence indicates when wolves leave Colorado and set foot in Wyoming, they risk their lives. Of course, true of wolves, true of all of us. Let's talk about the wolves for a second. So I saw the map. I know where we are. Pro-wolf? Wolf agnostic? Hey baby, no wolves? Couple people. Good thing elk can't vote though, huh? Because I tell you, if you don't like it, wait till you hear how the elk feel. We're for it, said people in Denver who go for a walk outside 1 hour a day. It's probably a good thing. Seems good. The wolves don't hurt people. I don't know. Whatever. See what happens. How bad could it get? Shane McGowan, the frontman of the Pogues, died this week at age 65. I've never heard any of these words before, replied most black people, including Love It or Leave It contributing writer Will Miles. Okay, thank God you said it because I was afraid to, said other black contributing writer Alan Pierre. I only know the Pogues from The Wire, said white contributing writer Peter Miller. Just a dialogue that played out in our Google Doc. A Connecticut woman filed a lawsuit against Chopped, the salad place, this week. Why? Here's why. She was consuming a salad on April 7th when, and this is a quote, she realized she was chewing on a portion of a human finger. Yeah, that's right. Even worse, charged for double protein. The manager, to whom the severed finger allegedly belonged, had been chopping arugula earlier in the day when she accidentally cut off part of her finger and went, obviously, to the hospital. According to a report by the Westchester County Health Department, after the manager went to the hospital, the staff that remained did not realize the arugula was contaminated with human blood and a fingertip. The health department held a hearing, and Chopped apologized and paid a fine. How much do you think the fine was? How much fun we were going to have guessing the number. You probably would have thought it was more. But we'll never know, will we? The lawsuit alleges severe and serious personal injuries, including shock, panic, traumatic stress, anxiety, nausea, and vomiting. You get that money, bitch. If a restaurant serves you a finger, you own the restaurant. That's the rule. That is so gross. That is so gross. And by the way, would that be the first thing you thought it was? It's that dawning moment, the slow dawning realization. Stop. Fair enough. Wolves are like, should we go to Chopped? And finally, according to a new study, penguins take thousands of naps over the course of each day, with each napping lasting just seconds long. They're calling it blinking. All right, when we come back, it's tea time.